say something to you? A little closer. I have something to say. Black women are the shit. What's up, everyone? Welcome to season 2 of the Lowdown with D-Lo. I don't know why I did that. Welcome again to the Lowdown with D-Lo. Now on YouTube. Do you want to enrich your life? Do you want to feel wealthy? You want to feel rocky, huh? Basic boba. Subscribe to Lapo, aka D-Lo, aka the name means wealth. Shmoney. Speaking into existence. I just spent a lot of money on makeup. Do you want that tea or do you want that spicy hot jollof rice? Tea is alright. You have to put sugar, you have to put milk for it to taste good. But jollof rice, basic. The Lowdown with D-Lo is just me talking, bringing dope guests, talking about things that are current and affecting the world. Can I say something to you? A little closer. I have something to say. Black women are the shit. Black women are the shit. Black women are the shit. I can't rap, but you get it. Any amazing movement, black women are behind it. Stonewall suffrage movement. The Me Too movement. Us. Yet the love we receive, minuscule compared to what we give to this world. Who did you see mostly get liberated in the Me Too movement? White woman, a trans black woman, was the first person to throw a brick at the Stonewall riots. Yet black trans women are disproportionately killed in the LGBTQIA community. When it comes to the suffrage movement, we were there, we were help galvanizing the conversation. But when it came to the actual voting, white women cut us out of it. We're the ones leading the conversation, yet we're constantly not reaping the benefits of the agenda. We're dealing with the racism. Then when we go into our own communities, we face featureism, colorism, texturism. People are trying to bring us down. Wow. Now that people, I can't even. I'll keep it to be that moment. Just to add into that stereotype of angry black woman, I am angry. So I grew up here in Fresno, California. I grew up in white spaces. There's a means of survival. I definitely had to dim myself, make myself smaller. And I'm already a big personality. I'll fight someone for it. My real name is Abiola, but it should be Dolapo. Microaggression. Chongokoya. Oh, Dolapo's here. Can you twerk for us? Can you dance? Like, no. I don't have an ass. I found this on Instagram. Moya Bailey, queer black feminist, lends the words of misogyny and the French word noir, black, to explain the intersection of sexism and racism that affect black women. Misogynoir. It's this adultification of black girls, the hypersexualization of black women at such a tender age. A study from Georgetown University found that adults viewed black girls as less innocent, more adult than white girls, especially between the ages 5 and 14 years old. That adultification also leads to rape culture. Black women have the higher share of being raped. Another thing, the ways that cultural appropriation really hurt black women. What they call the boxer braids, being worn by the Kardashians. Everyone was like, that's so cute. That's literally when it opened the gate for black women to finally wear cornrows in the workspace and not look crazy. Braids is not a fad. It's legit how black women interlock their hair to protect it. That is where braids come from. When you say it's just a fad or it's just a trend, that belittles the origin of our features, of the way we wear our hair. The next thing, stereotypes. 4 main categories: the Jezebel, hypersexualized, seeing them as a fetish, dehumanizing our features. Black girls got a big butt, big lip, personifying us, diminishing our humanity down to just features, and hypersexualism, relating to that adultification of black girls. Sassy black woman, loud, finger clicking, neck rolling. Our grievances aren't validated because, oh, we're just a sassy black woman. Angry black woman. Belittles are very valid anger. God forbid a black woman raises her voice in a space, she's automatically seen as a threat. A strong black woman. It's sometimes very dehumanizing to see us as just these superheroes, because superheroes don't exist. We also feel pain physically like any other human being. So when we go into spaces like the hospital where we're supposed to feel safe, our pain is belittled because they subconsciously think that we don't feel pain like the average white person. Serena Williams, you think strong, you think strength. When she got pregnant, she noticed something was wrong in her body, and the doctors dismissed it until she forced them and was like, no, you need to look. She had a blood clot that was forming. Stereotypes are actually deathly and lethal. support Black women, humanize Black women, and then we can become equal. We can feel, safe in our homes. Where's the justice for Breonna Taylor? Arrest Breonna Taylor's killers. Humanize Black women. Humanize us. That's my spiel on Black women. But guess what? A Black woman, superb person. Courtnie is gonna be on. She is a dope R&B singer, up and coming, and really changing how we see music and how we see the world. She just got a dope article in Vogue. Introduce Courtnie. I am so excited that you're here, Courtnie. I met Courtnie 3 years ago because you came into our apartment to film one of your music videos. My roommate is a mutual friend. She was like, I have a friend, she's an artist, she loves our bathrooms and wants to film a music video. We're like, okay, sure. This is so cool. This is so New York to have a music video being filmed in your small ass apartment in East Village. I've just been such a fan of you. Soulful R&B artist, embodies everything that means to be Black woman empowerment. If you want to just first introduce yourself to our audience.
Well, I was born in the Bay Area. I do not remember a single thing about it, and quickly moved to Chicago, Illinois, where both my parents are from, till I was about 11 or 12. Super integral part of my life, listening to two of my favorite radio stations to this day, V103 and WGCI. I was maybe like 6 years old. I would always emulate Mariah Carey, and my mom was like, girl, that is not for you. I really got my bluntness from her. Like, I've always been really straightforward, and I never really noticed that I was a tell it like it is person until I met a lot more not tell it like it is people. So that was the last time I was interested in being an artist of that sort. A high school guidance counselor, Mr. Liggett, he was amazing. He would always say, like, thank me in your Grammy speech. And I was like, Mr. Liggett, I'm not gonna get a Grammy. Like, I don't sing. I don't want to do that. And he would say it over and over. I was like, maybe he's just kind of old. Like, yeah. Like, maybe he doesn't get it. And I always, like, again, in high school, I was like, okay, I want to go to school for something film, television, etc. related, and to be behind the camera. So I was like, Oscars. I would just correct him. Oscars, Emmys, something else. And he was like, okay. USC, I decided to take the film route, which ended me in like my corporate careers. I really just ended up getting back into music on the side when my friend asked me to create with him. First one we even wrote, like, blew up on SoundCloud. It did really well. I could really make money from this. And yeah, I have Caribbean in my family. I like money.
Yeah. So. Who doesn't? Like, some people, go up and they're like, oh, I've always wanted to be a singer or an actress. Like, it's like,
I've always felt so left out because everyone has this long history. And I'm like, no.
When you got to that place where you're like, wait, I'm actually good at this thing and I could actually make this a career. Explain that clicking moment.
Really enjoyed writing, first and foremost. Singing is liberating for me. It makes me feel very free and uninhibited and capable. I had not had that feeling with anything else.
You are an independent artist and you're proud of it. Please tell me what that means.
It's not that I want to be independent or don't want to be independent. It's just how things are right now. There's also a difference in being independent and having help and not having help. And right now, I'm doing everything by myself, which I'm sure you can relate to. Business side, it's all me. Shout out Marshall at USC. I was in business school for undergrad. Every moment that I spend marketing myself, paying for promo and ads and all that kind of stuff takes away from writing, and that takes away from recording.
What you're trying to say is like one of the end results would be to like actually have a deal that, is protecting yourself.
Just some kind of machine behind me. It doesn't have to be a label, but I would just want to make sure that I have a team. And without a label, you have to put that team together yourself.
I was gonna say, how do you get the capital for that?
Capital comes from myself, from working a corporate job. 70% of my income that doesn't go to necessities goes to music. Like, we are hoping for deals and not streams because Spotify gives us nothing.
It's all in the deals. I'm in branded content. I think a lot of people live in this clout world where they're like, oh, I get this attention, this and attention. It's like, but what actual dollars are coming from that?
So if you're watching this, hire me. But also I will say, like, the cool thing about, like, doing this with you or like the Vogue article, anything in that realm, you're hoping, and I know that people are seeing it and are going to want to support me financially because of like what they see.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really about that exposure to the right people.
Also, what I love about what you do with being an independent artist is that every time I see your credit tags, it's always Black women. It's always women of color. And that's hard. The 10 people who have Black Magic Pros in their house are usually white dudes with beards.
At the end of the day, there's an issue not only with access to the jobs, but there's like access to the knowledge and opportunity to even like pursue this career path.
You embody a pro-woman Blackness to a core.
People understand now and talking about not only colorism, but texturism and featureism and all the other isms that like go into who is able to succeed and who isn't. There's so many ways that like brown to dark women have been excluded. Music can be super uncomfortable in a lot of spaces because it is male dominated in every aspect other than maybe some of the stars. People have seen like that Victoria Monet and like Khalid video, and like she is literally looking like the second coming of Diana Ross, and I'm not even trying to diss him, but had a Walmart flannel on and barely a lineup. We shouldn't have to work so hard to keep up this like unrealistic standard and image of beauty. The final thing I would say is just for me as someone who is very Pan-African, and I think has always been so, I would like to unify like Black people everywhere. Latin America, I want them to understand that they're Black. And then I also want those opportunities to be given.
Don't get me started about that. The diaspora, dude, the diaspora is real. Even me as a first generation Nigerian, I wasn't taught that I was the same. You know what I mean? And that's a problem. The way we were commodified didn't allow for that. I also want a healing between Africa and its Black descendants.
It's all about like internalized racism.
We all know the 50 Cent and Lil Wayne virtual conversation that they had. Lil Wayne has been hosting these podcasts / like video series that he's doing, and he had 50 Cent. We all know 50 Cent's problematic. He feels a Black woman get riled up when he gets an exotic woman, which he's calling basically a non-Black woman as exotic. Black women have a tough with him, and they're become the angry Black woman, and he's always like, calm down, I'm just trying to have a little something, like this is my moment. I already have a problem with preference. Preference is rooted in racism. Why do you have to then tear down the Black woman, the one that produced you, the one that made you look how you look right now? Lil Wayne has a brown-skinned daughter, and he's sitting there laughing at 50 Cent's jokes.
Lil Wayne was talking about Reginae and said like the difference between my dark-skinned daughter and like the rest of you is my dark-skinned daughter is a millionaire. That's obviously an issue in itself because he's implying that we're not worth anything unless we have that much money. I don't want to say I've lost faith in or respect for Black men. 6 months ago, I would have said that. I think I'm like in a very healthy relationship. My partner is a Black man, so I feel like he encourages me to have hope, whether he means to or not, for his people. There's a lot of self-hatred there. They need therapy for it because Black women were always pushing for a more empathetic lifestyle. And that's where Black men continue to disappoint me. I need a break from also being their caretaker.
That's the thing with Black women. We care for everyone else and no one cares for us. I want to go into more of just like your music in general. What would you describe your style? Like, how would you describe it?
Donald Glover, he released an entirely different album each time. Like, hey, I'm going to make whatever the fuck I want. And you can like it or not, but just you're going to understand that this is who I am as an artist and creator, and you're not going to confine me. And that's something I think I would like to do. I don't want to force it.
If you could name one, what is your favorite project that you've done thus far?
It's between my most recent project. The other one is actually kind of quite the opposite. It's a song I wrote probably in 2017 called Never Be, about like those really low lows that you experience. People really direct it to being about a relationship, but for me, it was just about like success and like what that meant to me and how it's really hard for me to be content.
Please talk about your most recent project. It looked effortless.
I feel like something that I've taken with me as a Black woman is like I had a dance teacher as a kid named Homer Bryant, and he owned like a really cool dance studio in Chicago called Chicago Multicultural Dance Center. He would always say to us in class, like ballet, ballerinas make something that's super, super difficult look effortless, and that's just what we do. And I think like as Black women, like that's what we do all the time. So I'm honored that you think that I've embodied something that I've hoped to embody my entire life. Annie, the director of this visual, is incredible herself, and I think something that we both did was like pulled clothes from our closets and like went to the beauty supply and grabbed like long, like real fly nails. And she, the director, was sitting on the side of set for the first few hours painting the nails herself. We all wore a lot of hats, and I think that's something that you just have to do as an independent artist in the beginning.
Do you feel like What's Up is different from other projects that you've released?
Definitely. It's not so much the project alone, but it's just like how I've grown as a person and human also as an artist, where I know way more people in the industry. But when it comes to networking, it was exhausting when I wasn't quarantining. I was so tired of working long days. I work for BET full time, so it was hard working there. Because, like artists dress differently than like corporate people. How do I, one, wake up early enough to make sure that I put on a full face or look decent enough to like run off to like a show after work or run off to meet somebody for a drink? Because music networking always happens late at night. Or sometimes they want you to come at like to the studio at 11 p.m. because like they work from 11, come at 11, they're done at 4. And I'm like, I have a job. So I think that's been the most exhausting part. It's just like, wow. I feel like I have a split identities.
Give us the lowdown on culture. What are you consuming? Who are you following?
Smino, No Name for sure, Chance. Books that I've read recently that I really like, or a couple are Homegoing by Yajiasi. I love Elaine Welteroth's More Than Enough.
I thought it was going to be self-serving. I didn't really want to read it, but everyone's saying it's good.
We always disregard that when someone's like made it in our eyes. It's like you want to support someone when they're on the come up, but as soon as they get to that place, it's like, okay. Like I feel like we kind of do this thing where we toss celebrities to the side, like they didn't put in a lot of like, and I'm sure to her to even process she's a celebrity now is probably strange. We don't understand how much has gone into like how she got to where she got. Obviously mixed, she has a huge head of hair and she has things that go like that are going for her, but she brings that up, this privilege that she ended up feeling like or realizing she had over this white woman. It was like a stockier, chubbier white woman that worked with her at, I don't know, one of the publications early on. And she was saying, the white girl had even said, like, you don't get it, like you're thin and you have this beautiful head of hair and you look like a supermodel, like people are going to choose you, even if I work as hard when it comes to this like industry. And again, that's a different kind of like conversation, but it was just interesting that like, I thought Elaine was super introspective and able to admit flaw.
What is something that people don't know about you?
I don't know how people are going to take this one, but something I still think is very funny, or like, as I've grown, I don't overdrink as I did in college. But me and my friend, we had a lot to drink one night in college, and we all went to a party at a professor's house. All the bathrooms were taken. We were like, fuck, and we peed on his rooftop. I would never do something that disrespectful in my adult life.
I have pee anxiety, so I legit cannot pee in public.
I lift it up. If I have to go, I'm going.
What is your definition of mama, I made it?
Getting to the point that I can put on, obviously, for my community, assist Haiti in some way. My peers in West Africa, something that I want to leave with the world is like just increased empathy. I would never ever want to exclude any parts of our community. So that includes people part of the LGBTQIA+ community or differently abled Black people. Short, small, green, purple is, well, no, that's not green, purple.
Thank you so much, Courtnie. I am just so happy that we got to talk and speak. You're such a real person. Please, please, please go follow her.
Thank you so much for having me on The Lowdown with D-Lo. We'll link up again to you when you're back in the city. Just keep me updated.
And that's it for The Lowdown with D-Lo. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on Thursday. I'm just gonna need you guys to subscribe. Subscribe. That's all I'm gonna say is subscribe.